All right, everybody, it's Chef Beau Mac. We're gonna make some wild-caught salmon from Good Ranchers today. Simple recipe and fun because it's taken me back home to one of my favorite restaurants. Let's just talk about salmon in general. As a professional chef, it's probably one of the fishes that I've cooked the most worldwide. I mean, it's just such a popular fish. So we're gonna do a few things here. I'm gonna make a forbidden rice. Part of my repertoire was always working with farm fresh American ingredients and using Asian accents. So I'm gonna show you one of my blue chip recipes today, which is like a little kimchi sauce. We call it Red Dragon. And we'll throw some vegetables in here and make this thing pretty. But the real star of the show today is that Good Ranchers wild caught salmon. Let's get cooking. All right, check it out. Got a pan here. I think we'll start with the rice. Get the burner on. And this is forbidden rice. This is one of my favorite rices on the planet. It's a purple rice, black rice is another way to call it. You know, what this is gonna provide for you too, when you're thinking about stretching your budget, you know, I mean, rice in general, a little goes a long way. About 2 cups of that rice. Look at the color on that rice. And forbidden rice, you know, Chinese rice, it's got this like emperor's rice only. That's why they called it forbidden. It was for royalty back then, but it really gives you some beautiful perfumey notes, like just some really good earthy flavors. And it's a rice that has a nice body and a nice chew. So we're gonna do a couple little fancy things here. We're gonna add some water to that. It's always a 2-to-1 ratio about with rice, so I'm gonna add my water in. I have 2 cups of rice, so I need about 4 cups of liquid. And then I've got something else that I love. This is coconut milk. Fun, you know, kids love this because it's got a little sweetness to it. It's got a little essence on that. We're gonna add that coconut milk in. And then for me, I just like a little bit of ginger. That ginger you don't even have to mess around with. I wanna remove this later. I just wanna impact a little bit of flavor in there. So I'm gonna get this bad boy started like so and cover it. Rice generally takes about 20 minutes to cook or so, 15 to 20. So whenever you're cooking, you wanna save yourself some stress, kinda, you know, just think about your planning and stuff. This is something I definitely like to start first, and then it's go time. The salmon is so easy. We're gonna probably do that close to last today. All right, burners are on. It's Red Dragon sauce or kimchi sauce. Those Korean flavors have kind of hit the market. I'm using a product here called Gochujang, which is basically like Korean ketchup. This is a sweet chili paste, but it has a little bit of spice. It has a little umami flavors. Kind of looks like ketchup. You know, Korean ketchup is its nickname. So that's the base and the foundation of this sauce. We want to start with a little gochujang. Yep, and then we're just gonna water it out a little bit just for the consistency. I want it saucy-like. And that's perfect. Next up, let's put a little rice wine vinegar. That's gonna deliver a little acid. Of course, I'm a soy sauce fanatic. Soy sauce, that fermented soybean sauce that has this rich kind of sodium, that salt flavor. Salt is key. People say it's bad for you, it's not. Use it, helps things taste good. Counter that, I gotta add a little sugar. I got salt, sugar, sweet, salty, you know, that contrast in cooking. That's just gonna help balance it out for us. Okay, good pinch of garlic, good pinch of ginger. Really beautiful tones. Ginger, I mean, when you're talking about food, you're talking about garlic and ginger, really bringing out fragrance. You wanna entice people's appetites. You wanna work those sensibilities. You can do it through sight, you can do it through sound and the sizzle, but really too, fragrance is huge, man. If it smells good, kids are coming out of the woodwork. So I just wanna touch this off with a little sesame oil. This is one of my favorite oils to use. Ultimately, because of its fragrance and its smell, it's delicious. It's not something I cook with often. It's more something I finish with and add at the end. So look at already. I mean, this is beautiful. And now I've just got this cooking because what I wanna do is meld those flavors. And when that's like, you know, 3/4 of the way ready to go, I'm gonna add some honey for sweetness at the end. That's gonna help me with my fish as well. So in the meantime now, I can kind of prep my veggies. We gotta eat our veggies, our family needs them. Let me get a little pan on here. This is bok choy. This is cabbage, a Chinese cabbage, really. So I'm gonna split that down the middle. But use a vegetable of your choice. Anything here will really work. If you wanna use green beans, if you wanna use Brussels sprouts, if your kids really just like to eat spinach, that can all work. There's no right or wrong. You really gotta make food about you. You gotta identify with that. But the most important part is honestly starting with amazing ingredients. So, all right. I'm gonna get a little green cut in here, and I wanna throw that in the water just to kind of rinse it. I think it's gonna look really pretty. It's gonna add some nice texture. And then I'll get some of these beautiful stems. I just wanna soak them in water. All right, while they're soaking, we gotta check on our fish. And this is what's coming to your door. A little olive oil. I'm gonna cook this fish on both sides, but I wanna get a little flesh side. I wanna get a little, almost just a tiny little bit of sear on this. A little salt and pepper, not too much. My ingredients around, I'm thinking about have some salt already. Beautiful. This is something that can be done ahead of time, waiting in the fridge. You got your family ready, they're sitting down, rice is cooked, sitting, steeped, sauce is ready to rock and roll. And then it's just a little light brown on this fish. So let's get a little oil in here as I'm waiting for this to heat up. You know, chefs are chefs. If you want to add butter, you can. Fat is flavor. Not really necessary here. I'm thinking about clean ingredients here, so that oil should do the trick for us fine. All right, let's check this sauce over here. Oh yeah, coming together nicely. House is smelling good already. People are like, Dad, what's going on? And I'm like, son, I'm gonna show you the good rancher way today. Just stay with me. Little honey, that helps sweeten it up, but honey adds a little viscosity to a little thickness, and it's like, makes a little glaze for you. So I'm getting in, you know, really you wanna, what happens with the heat in the pan in itself, this is Teflon, so it's a non-stick pan, I'm getting the oil in there, but as that heat hits that pan, it expands the pores in the pan, and that's gonna help you from non-sticking. So I gave it a little shot, and that's one way to tell if it's ready. The other side of life is the sound it makes. You wanna have a nice little sizzle in there. I'm gonna put just a tiny bit more oil. Just like so. 6-ounce portions of salmon. Let's say you have 10 people at the house. You've got the fish ready to go. Start time to finish time on the fish alone, not gonna take you more than 6 minutes. And what's cool about this, you can do it all in the pan if you want to. You know, some people prefer to cook fish all the way through. With salmon, you're lucky here because you can cook it as much as you want. It can be rare, but this is a no-brainer. I can feed 10 people in less than 15 minutes, and I got a sauce, rice going, and a vegetable for this dish. So once it's in the pan, let it do its work. Just let it sit. It's gonna get a nice little color in there, and now we can work on some vegetables. A little olive oil over here. Go ahead and just shake some of this off right here. Beautiful leaves. I'll keep a little moisture because that's gonna help kind of cook this down. Hear that fish? People generally wanna mess with the pan. You don't have to, just leave it alone. It's gonna be perfect. And then when you're ready, you can take a little peek at the color. Oh yeah, it's coming together nicely. Time for a flip. The beautiful thing about a wild caught salmon like this, that the flakiness, the tenderness of this fish, it's so quick. So you don't want the heat application to be too firm or it'll damage like the integrity of the flesh. You wanna keep it simple. I just browned it lightly, got a little color on it, gave it a little bit of flip, and we'll let the rest of the cooking do its work for itself. Pan is starting to make a little noise. I like that sound. I reserved a little of my ginger. I reserved a little bit of garlic. Just like so. And I'm gonna add that to brown a little bit. Now, you know, Good Ranch has already made it so easy for you that this fish really, lemon, it could go. You could serve it as is. You know, restaurant chef, we gotta touch things a little bit, so I actually made this beautiful dragon sauce for 2 ingredients, but if you really wanna trick it out, that's where you get that little glaze going. This can be barbecued, this can be broiled in the oven, or you can do it all one-stop shopping right here in the pan. See the color on that? Very pretty. Okay, mushrooms. Let's get them in. We'll sweat those down. We can start adding this beautiful bok choy with those mushrooms. Okay, I'm gonna get a little pepper. A little pinch of salt. Like so. It's good cooking right there, people. I'm telling you, it's gonna be awesome. And look at the colors I'm working with. I mean, bright, vibrant. You really don't have to do much. I mean, get a little close up of that beautiful salmon. Got a tight little kimchi red dragon glaze on it. Super nice for the family. All right, I'm gonna remove those big blocks of ginger. Let's just add a little here. Pick up a little extra flavor. Give this a little saute. Oh yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Oh yeah. This is what we call in the restaurant creamy and dreamy. It's almost like a risotto. That rice is kind of just softening up a little bit. It's got a little more time on it. All right, guys, we're gonna bring this Good Ranchers wild caught salmon dish together. Let's get this right down on the plate. Beautiful cuisine. With Good Ranchers, here's the beautiful thing. You're getting a package showing up to your house, beautiful 6-ounce portions of wild sockeye salmon. This is only sustainably raised. It's sourced from American fisheries, and it's beautiful. And the best part is, you can have it on your table year round. There you have it, kids. Good Ranchers, wild caught salmon, ta-dow.